The Daily Compliance News for Friday, July 24th, 2026, the All Wall Street Journal edition. To welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is the only daily podcast which curates 4 top compliance, ethics, and/or corruption stories for your listening and viewing pleasure if you're watching this on YouTube. Yes, indeed. All of our stories today come from the Wall Street Journal. We begin with the EU has fined Google $1 billion for favoring its own services. The fine is for breaching digital competition rules in a case that risk aggravating tensions with the Trump administration. The EU Commission, EU's executive arm, said Thursday that Google unfairly favored its own services in its widely used search engine and that the company imposed restrictions on app developers, preventing them from freely steering users to offers outside the company's PlayStation. Oops, that's 890 million euros. What about conflicts of interest? Well, Lloyd's of London has criticized their former CEO's close relationship with a subordinate. He failed to ensure whistleblower complaints about his relationship were handled appropriately. Gee, imagine that. A corrupt CEO who's bagging a subordinate. Well, guess what? That's the way some CEOs feel like they can run things. And Lloyd's found his conduct fell significantly below the standards of judgment, transparency, accountability, and expectations of a Lloyd's of London chief officer. In a very dispiriting story, the man who runs the IRS spied on his colleagues when he worked at J.P. Morgan. Frank Bizignano directed staff to use software to snoop in emails of rivals and surveil the work of employees. He's also the chief of Social Security. What could go wrong? This is just typical of the Trump administration, and no doubt he'll bring these strategies, tools, and techniques to doing it against Americans. And our final story comes to us from Google, which reports that AI is not replacing workers, but it's helping them. Now, first you have to consider the source of the report, which is Google, which has Gemini. And one of the looming worries about AI is it will automate jobs away. But a report from Google released Thursday said that technology is mainly being used as an aid to workers. It is finding that if it holds true as AI continues to develop, it could point to a future where the demand for highly skilled worker is accentuated rather than diminished. Just because you're using AI doesn't mean it's going to automate your job. Obviously, the stakes are high for Google with its Gemini platform, as well as Anthropic and OpenAI. But this report points things in a little bit different directions. Once again, you have to consider the source. Nevertheless, it's something that I believe will be the result at the end of the day. The key is, are you going to learn how to use AI in your job? Thanks so much for listening. We'll be off for the weekend. We'll be back with you on Monday, July 27th. Have a great weekend. Thanks again for listening. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.